so in my haul video where I did all of my jackets and sweaters for fall and winter, I was celebrating the fact that I had lost my baby weight, which is my pregnancy weight. And my baby is not even a year old yet, and I already have returned to wearing my pre-pregnancy clothes and weighing what I used to weigh before I had my baby. First topic that I'm going to get into is all the details of my weight gain and my weight loss. Then I'm going to get into how I did it, how I lost it. Then I'm going to get into what kind of routines I did, what kind of diet I did, and how I found my motivation. So a lot of the questions that you might have will be answered in this video. Just make sure you watch it all the way through. I know it's really long and boring, but you know what? Save it as a favorite, come back to it another time and watch it all the way through. Before I got pregnant, I weighed 130 pounds. I'm 5'6", and so 130 pounds is a pretty decent size to be. I mean, I wasn't like really petite, but I was pretty average. Dropped 3 pounds, which was a really big deal for me. I went down to 127, and the reason it was such a big deal is because I was always in the 130s. As long as I can remember being my size, I was always in the 130s. And so being 127 was a big difference for me, and it was a big deal. It really made a difference. My clothes fit me, and overall just really was a big deal. And so I went down to 127 pounds, and I held that weight for about it was about 2 years. And then I got pregnant. When I was pregnant, my heaviest was about 164 pounds, I think. I remember that I went just slightly over the allowed amount of weight. Right after I had my baby, I went down immediately after to 148 pounds. That is approximately 20 pounds over what I was before I had my baby. It's been a year, and I've already lost about 20 pounds, and I'm pretty much back to my pre-pregnancy weight. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you guys about how I did it, what it takes, and just to let you know that it is extremely possible. So first thing I want to say is if you have any type of medical condition that you're aware of, or even you might not even be aware, please make sure that before you follow anything that anyone advises, you do ask your physician, your doctor to guide you rather than just blindly following anything that I say or that anybody advises you to do. So one of the first things that you will need before you lose your weight, very, very, very important. If you don't have this, you're not going to do it. There's no way. You might as well just turn this video off and just get up and go do what you normally do, because that's just the way it is. And I'm actually going to give you guys a moment to go ahead and just turn off this video, because if you don't have this, you should just go away. And that is motivation. Okay? If you don't have motivation, please leave right now. I am not kidding, because I'm going to waste my breath. You're going to waste your time listening to this video all the way through. You don't have motivation, just going to sit here for a few minutes and let everyone who doesn't have motivation to go ahead and leave, because you don't belong here. Plain and simple. You don't need to be skinny to have motivation. You don't need to be an athlete to have motivation. You can be anybody and have motivation. So if you don't have it, just leave the room right now. Just leave. Okay. So if you are watching the rest of this video, you have the motivation, or you want to find out how to get the motivation. So I don't really have any magic words for you. I don't really have a magic potion that's going to help you. The only thing that I can say is that it will come from inside of you. Something will make you want to lose the weight. I don't know what it is, because everybody's individual. People say, oh, do it for your son or do it for your husband. But if you don't want to do it for your son or your husband or your daughter or your whatever boyfriend, It's not going to happen. It has to come daily. This is, as soon as you decide that you want to make a change, you need to have the motivation every day. Every single motivation has to be, this is going to sound a little crazy, but your motivation has to be a voice inside of you. So if you can like close your eyes and picture your perfect self, or you can create this person in your head any way you want this person to look like, but or any way you want them to sound like. This person is in your head, and this person tells you to get up and do something. Um, for me, the voice in my head sounds just like me, and it pretty much tells me that I need to do the opposite of what I'm doing at the moment. Um, so that's one way that you can find motivation. The other thing is you need to pinpoint what your excuses are. So you may be watching this video and you may be thinking, but Iris, I have a condition, but Iris, you were already skinny before you had your baby. I was already heavy before I had mine. Or, but Iris, I have more than one kid. I've had multiple pregnancies. I've had C-sections. I mean, you have to find all of your excuses, and your motivation has to pretty much kill those excuses with an alternative or a solution. I don't have time in this video to create one for you, but I can give you an example. For example, you may say, well, you were already skinny before you had a baby. I was heavy before I had my baby, so that's why it's easy for you and it's not going to be easy for me. That is not true. There are a few women out there who have had more than one kid who have lost all the baby weight. And how do they do it? Well, yeah, some of them lose it naturally, but some of them, like me, have to work at it. And it is going to require a lot of work. And that's what I'm going to get into in the rest of this video. Losing weight is going to require you to learn and do homework. I mean, it is just like going to college or going to high school where you learn about a certain subject, like say for example like math, or if you go in and you learn about economics and you sit down and you research and you write things down and you memorize words and you memorize numbers. It is homework. Losing weight is homework, and a lot of it requires you to memorize things so that you can use them and not have to think back and go, well, is this what I'm supposed to do, or is that what I'm supposed to do? And if you don't have a good memory, then you need to carry a notebook with you, or if you have like an iPhone, you need to take notes. And losing weight also requires you to do what your body does not want to do. You will always, it doesn't matter who you are, you will always feel like you just do not feel like working out. I have been working out for about 15 years of my life, where I've been going to the gym and I've been actually working out.